Thank you, John, and welcome along. Scotland's European Championship qualifying campaign kicks off in the Central Asian Republic of Kazakhstan. A journey of 3,900 miles from Glasgow. There's a 6-hour time difference, although Scotland are pretending that there isn't. And it's about -2 outside, although with the roof of the stadium closed and the artificial grass, it shouldn't affect how the game goes. The capital city was called Astana when Scotland's players arrived at the weekend. Now it's called Nur Sultan. That's because the Kazakhstan president, Nur Sultan Nazarbayev, has retired and his successor has renamed the city in the last couple of days. Well, Scotland already have a playoff place in the bag because of their success in the Nations League. If they fail to finish in the top 2 of this group, they can still qualify by winning 2 matches against other C League sides. But it's a dangerous way to think about that, really, because the top 2 is there. I know Belgium are in this group, Chris, and I know that Russia are in this group, but Scotland are going into this thinking, Kazakhstan today, the world's worst team, San Marino, coming up at the weekend. No reason they shouldn't have 6 points by the end of this international break.
I've got to totally agree. I think that's spot on, John. Of course, you have the safety net there of the playoff place. That's in the bag. But you know what? That should allow the squad to go out there, not to experiment things, but his hand's been forced to throw a few young players in there that haven't got that international experience, but they're good players. At club level, they're ticking boxes, they're doing well for their clubs. Can they bring that to the international scene? I believe they can. I think tonight, this group, they know there's expectation there. They'll expect themselves to go out and win. Nothing's easy internationally, and I just feel that as a collective, they'll do the job and go over the line tonight.
We have a Serbian match referee. He stands, whistle in mouth, ready to go, ready to blow that whistle. The start of Scotland's Euro qualifying campaign. They are one of the hosts, and that doesn't guarantee that they will be there for the finals. Those places have got to be earned by every side. Scotland are in traditional dark blue, which is good to see, and it's Kazakhstan, the home side, in a very bright yellow, all yellow outfit. 10 major tournaments have come and gone since Scotland qualified for one. Too many missed opportunities along the way. Alex McLeish went close a dozen years ago. He's back for more. They must get past Belgium and Russia to qualify through the group. They can't afford to be leaving points behind against the lower ranked nations. Kazakhstan ranked at 117 in the world, but Scotland aren't exactly at their high point at number 40. Very much pushing the definition of Europe for Kazakhstan to be involved. Astana, or Nur Sultan, is due north just about of Mumbai. It's 1,400 miles east of Moscow. And so the sports scientists have been busy, and they've kept Scotland basically operating on UK time. So they haven't tried to readjust at all. They've tried to live in a bubble, bring their own food, bring dark curtains and all of that, and just pretend that it's, well, wherever they play their football. In the case of Liam Palmer, that's Sheffield Wednesday. Scotland on the attack. They claim a throw. It's James Forrest who's hugging that right touchline. A couple of goals in the last couple of internationals. They finished really strongly. McKeon in the midfield tries to clip it forward, and it comes out again to Palmer, making his debut. Right start from him, and he wins a throw.
Yeah, I've got to say, impressed already with the start. You know, I think playing out from the back, Kazakhstan had a high press, but still, Scott Bain gives it out to Bates and McKinnon and that at the back, patiently building up, and McGinn in the right area again finds Liam Palmer, and I just feel that's going to be a little a combination that I'm going to enjoy tonight. So I just feel that using it well, patient build up, getting on the ball. Kazakhstan showed the respect, dropped a little bit, and not really pressed us in the right way. So hopefully we can just get the ball down and play our own game.
David Bates, the Hamburg central defender, clipped the ball long. It's run in the air, but very quickly won back again by Scotland. So Kazakhstan haven't really got a couple of passes together so far in this game. They switch it back to Scott McKenna, and then Stuart Armstrong from deep. Last touch off a Kazakhstan player. So we're halfway inside the Kazakhstan half, as Scotland attack down the left side. A big smile on the face of Alex McLeish, who we see on the big screen, back in charge of Scotland, having had a near miss in his last time around. They won a game away to France. They went close. It ended up frustratingly just out of their hands. A foul is Scotland a free kick, and Stuart Armstrong might take it, or it might be the young captain Callum McGregor.
For me, this is Stuart Armstrong all day, perfect. You've got the likes of Bates, McKenna in there, attack it very well. Just beat that first man.
It is Armstrong, and it's fired towards the back post, and it was won in the air by a Kazakhstan defender. He might have worked that out from the chair, and they do get the counter-attack going. And the free kick, the decision has gone Scotland's way.
Yeah, fantastic from John McGinn there. You know, he's got himself back, worked his socks off just to get in front of the man, and done everything right, and it's a foul. That's what he does well. You know, he reads the game well, he breaks it up well, and he's got the quality when he does break it up. That transition, uses the ball well as well.
A good work from the Aston Villa man, the centre of Scotland's midfield, Alan McGregor. It's very deep, and he gives it wide to Palmer, who's just inside the Kazakhstan half. Back he goes to Bates. And Scotland, it's all inside their own half at the moment. Switch it over to the far side.
Yeah, but you can see, John, you know, even the back four are in their own half. When Bates and McKim, come on in.
Here comes Burke, and he's made a surge towards the byline. He pulls it back. McKim was waiting, didn't get through to him. David Bates can collect it again, and Scotland tried to recycle, tried to crank up the pressure again. Out it comes to Liam Palmer, and then clipped in towards the edge of the penalty area where Burke was making the run across, and the header won by Ollie McBurney through to the goalkeeper Nepohodov.
Well, as I was saying there, every time Scotland, if it's Bates or McKenna that get it, there's no pressure on them whatsoever. Kazakhstan are just staying in their half, allowing Scotland to progress and come up the pitch, and that's playing into our favour. Can we now get on the ball, use it properly, play in the little holes, which John McGinn, Armstrong, McGregor, you know what I mean, they do it very well. We've got to use that winner first headers, and that's what we're doing at the minute, ticking all boxes.
And McBurney will chase down a long ball. It goes back to the goalkeeper from Postnikov. And the goalkeeper clears it. Nepohodov, who was Ukrainian born, an experienced player in terms of his club football, but relatively new to the Kazakhstan national setup. They're well behind their team. Suyembayev, he's the left back, but it's a long way forward, so it's three central defenders nominally for Kazakhstan, but it would seem that the wingers, the wing backs are at least trying to get forward, which is good to see. We were just wondering before we started really what the approach of Kazakhstan and Mikhail Bilek would be. And with the long ball forward, the flag is down, and there's a chance of a goal, and Scotland have been pegged back. An extraordinary start. It's Yuri Pertsuk, a long ball over the top. Scotland were caught totally flat, caught cold. Scotland are behind inside 6 minutes against Kazakhstan.
Well, I have to say there was no pressure on the ball, but the defensive line was not bad. Great run, great little chip pass run, fantastic first touch. I thought he had time to actually take another touch and take it in, never needed it. And to be fair, Scott Bain had no chance there. Rifled it into the top. Disappointing, again, came from nothing. No pressure on the ball. Maybe the defensive line should drop them and there's no pressure on the ball, they've got to. But again, there's time. Scott Bain, can he come out, maybe sweep up there for us? Fantastic ball, great run. But someone's got to actually follow the runner. All the players looking over to the linesman there to see if it's an offside. But it was a fantastically weighted ball and fantastic finish. Got to bounce back. Young squad, as I say. No fear. We've got to go at it again.
Well, what a blow for Scotland. It was Alexander Merkel, who we were talking about before the game, the guy who was born in Kazakhstan but then brought up in Germany and came through. He went to Watford for a while, he went to Milan for a while, so a player with some pedigree. He played the ball through, and it was Perchuk who made the run through, and for some reason it was totally untracked. And he took one touch, and the second touch fired it past the goalkeeper, Scott Bain, who just didn't have time to get ready. It was a good finish, and Burke tries to charge down a clearance. He does that successfully, but it came off him and out of play for a goal kick to Kazakhstan. He's operating down their left, Oliver Burke, and it's Ollie McBurney who's been in the goals in good style for Swansea recently, who is playing up front for Scotland. All the focus, of course, on Scotland naturally, but it is Kazakhstan. They only won 7 of their World Cup All-European qualifiers out of 76 since they made the switch to being in Europe. So this is a famous start for them.
Yes, and you know what, the worrying thing about it is already before it was 0-0, they were sitting back, sitting in no half, allowing Scotland to have it. It's going to happen even more so now with the lead to protect. So we've just got to be patient, be organised, disciplined, and like you say, we've got to be clinical. We are going to create chances, we've just got to make sure we hit the back of the net.
Forrest turns, but he turns into trouble on the halfway line. Stabbed forward again by Kazakhstan, and then the header back comes from McKenna all the way through to Scott Bain, who's good with his feet. One of the reasons that he's become Celtic's number one. And that's obviously helped him go on to be Scotland number one. 3 goalkeepers originally named in the squad all had 1 cap, and Jordan Archer has pulled out. So the 3 keepers in the squad have got 2 caps between them. Scotland are attacking down their left side. It was Shinnie with the forward pass. It doesn't reach its target though. There is a hum of expectation and excitement every time a yellow shirt gets on the ball for Kazakhstan. It's fired long and McKenna comes across and tidies it up, goes back to Bain. He will trust Bain with his footballing ability. And the Celtic goalkeeper doesn't quite live up to that, and he kicks it straight out of play to the Kazakhstan coach.
Yeah, I think again there with Scott Bain, he's under no pressure with the quality that he's got from his feet. I think Oliver Burke is going to be a great outlet from those long ones. But again, little things, like Scott McKenna, Bates, as good as they are, this is when they've got to be now. Be strong, take it down, cam it, slow it down, rather than a lofty ball up with no quality on.
Oh, they're in again, and there's more danger for Scotland, and they scored again. Well, this is extraordinary. Inside the first 10 minutes, and Scotland are 2-0 down against Kazakhstan. And it's Vorokovsky, the right back, breaking forward. And again, he sneaked into the penalty area unmarked, and one ball has undone Scotland. And Kazakhstan, extraordinarily, are 2 goals up inside 10 minutes.
Yeah, I've got to look at Graham Shinnie there. He's overprotected. He's went the distance between himself and Scott McKenna. He's invited the pass on, and you can't turn your back to it again. So straight away your shoulders have got to be opened out. You've got to have one eye on your man. He's actually he's sold himself. He's invited the pass, and they've shown that they've got that quality that they can execute it as well. So disappointing. And you've got to just breathe in now, big breaths, and we go again. That's all you can do. 2-0 down under 10 minutes. So the only good positive thing is there's a lot of the game still to go.
They are going crazy in the Astana arena. It was Islam Kuat who played the ball through, and Vorokovsky who made the burst forward from the right back position. The young man, all 9 of the 11 are domestically based, and not big names, not with big teams. But Scotland out the bitter edge, not feeling the bitter wind because the roof is closed. In between conceding the goals, it seems extraordinary to say Scotland have looked calm and comfortable, but just twice they've been totally caught out. 1 good pass, 1 good finish, both times.
And it shows you have to be, like you say, you have to be disciplined. You know that they do have certain quality. They've sat back, they've shown a little bit of respect, and yeah, we've been calm, our passing, movement's been good, but we can't switch off. They've already shown that. 2 opportunities, 2 goals, clinical. You can't allow any player to have time to get that forward pass in, and at the minute they'll just grow in confidence and it make it harder for ourselves. But it takes us then to get on the ball, be controlled, be calm, be disciplined, and show that composure.
Now it's Kazakhstan's turn to knock it around a little bit. They go back to Postnikov, and then Sergei Mali is another ex-Ukrainian who's been converted to Kazakhstan, and goes back to Postnikov again. It's deep inside his own half, and then he clips it forward. It's Kuat who played that killer ball through for the second goal, and then it's played over long actually, and McKenna can win it for Scotland, the Aberdeen man, in turn, and just slip it back into his goalkeeper Scott Bain. And now David Bates, and forward come Scotland again. Alex McLeish seems to be doing a little bit of reorganising just right in front of Liam Palmer. What a debut he's having. I mean, no culpability on the goals for him, but this is international football. Welcome along, Liam. 2-0 down inside 10 minutes. Now Armstrong with the forward pass into the feet of Burke, and it comes back to McKenna, and then Bates of Scotland, unruffled and unchallenged when they're inside their own half, as Chris was describing. Kazakhstan happy to play deep, happy to sit and see what Scotland do and play in front of them. And obviously when a side sets up like that at 0-0, a 2-0 early advantage is great for them. But Scotland attack with some penetration down that left side, and it's cleared. It was a well-timed clearance because Forrest had come across to try and get on the end of the cutback. And Kazakhstan try to break, and Merkel hits a long ball, and they're this time the flag goes up and Scotland can take a deep breath.
Well, John, I have to say there wasn't a lot in that. There was not a lot in that. It's one of those things. Yeah, they're sitting and they're disciplined. They're playing a deep line. As soon as they get it, they've got players that are busting forward. They know they've got the quality in the pass. We've just got to be alert to that one.
Scotland come down this right side again. McGinn, it's inaccurate from Scotland. They can't afford to do that. He played it short, well, to the edge of the penalty area. It was easily intercepted, and there is a roar because Kazakhstan are bursting forward again. Murtazayev, and he spots the forward run, almost identical run that led to the second goal, but this time it's read and intercepted by Shinnie. Scotland play it long and give possession away.
Again there, it's McKenna on the ball. We get it back. He's read it well. I think it's Shinnie actually on the ball, and that's when we've got to just get those couple of passes in, not go direct when there's no pressure on the ball. We get it down, be calm, composed. Is that a free kick? No, nothing in it. Again, we just got to get high, make sure the back four are talking to each other, getting us up, making sure the distances are right. I'm expecting a lot more from Callum McGregor at the minute. Captain, he's got to go out there and lead. He's got to get the boys regrouped again, get them going. I want him speaking. I don't really see it at the minute. And this is when you have that responsibility of being captain. You can't hide. You've got to actually put those demands on the players around you.
There's McGregor's ball towards Armstrong, and Armstrong can now surge towards the edge of the penalty area. And the challenge has been made by Vorogovsky, who scored the second goal for Kazakhstan. They lead by 2-0 against Scotland. But Scotland are trying to break back, and there's an offside in there.
Again, unlucky. It's down that left flank, doing real well for us. Again, got into the opportunity that we've had the opportunity to play the ball back, get into the 6-yard box. Could that final pass be better? James Forrest came on 2-1 there. Can it be more to his feet that he had time? There's no one around him. Take a touch and get a shot away rather than in front, allowing the defender to come in and do his job. This is me just nitpicking at the minute, but again, we're getting into the right areas. We need to be clinical. We need to create chances. What the goalkeeper at the minute, Kazakhstan, they're comfortable. They're comfortable. They're defending well every time they get it. Not even with great quality going forward. They're just clearing the areas, getting up the pitch, and then when they're in that middle section, then you see the quality. Good players getting on it. If you give them time, they can hurt you.
Kazakhstan 2, Scotland 0 with just 15 minutes played. It was 2-0 with just 9 minutes on the clock, and clearance from Bates has been charged down. Scotland got lucky that time. It ran straight through to his goalkeeper Scott Bain, and he bowls it out quickly. We saw Alex McLeish up. Seemed to be a change of formation. He was going 4-4. Here comes Burke down the left side again, but once again there are just enough yellow shirts around for Kazakhstan in this stadium with the roof closed on the artificial surface a long way east. Scotland have never been this far before, never played Kazakhstan. I don't think we'll fancy coming back again at this race.
No, well, like you say, there's plenty of time to go. We just got to make sure that we keep doing how we started. Getting the ball, passing, movement, controlled, calm, not trying to force the issue. You know, like you say, we're 16 minutes in, plenty of time still. We've got to make sure that we work them, use the ball well, move Kazakhstan about. At the minute, they're just sitting in, discipline. We're not really showing what we're about at the minute, but we will grow into it. Young squad, they've got to take this opportunity.
The muscular figure of Liam Palmer with the throw forward to the centre forward, the number 9, Ollie McBurney. It's been a bit of a lonely figure. Had opportunities so far. No, Scotland, I'm sure, if we see possession stats, will be dominating possession. And they do well. It's very high press from Scotland to try and win it back. Palmer got a touch on it. It's out for the throw that will be taken by Suyumbayev, who's the attack-minded left wing back for Kazakhstan. Ranked 117 in the world. They weren't a particular hit in their Nations League. They lost to Georgia, who have been a nemesis of Scotland in the past. Throw-in taken, iffy throw-in. No one seems to worry about foul throws these days. And the forward pass is inaccurate anyway, so Scotland in possession with McKenna, very highly rated central defender, linked with lots of clubs south of the border. Aberdeen will be keen to hold on to him until the money is just too good. It's clipped forward by Shinnie, his club teammate, trying to get Burke away. Nearly got away, the defender just nicked it away at the last. And here's the captain, Alan McGregor, in his 10th cap. That's how inexperienced this Scotland lineup is. Forrest, who hadn't scored in his first 24 internationals and then scored 5 in 2 to make sure Scotland won their Nations League group. The way this has started, they'll be grateful of having that little fallback position of a place in the playoffs, although first task is to get back into this game. They've given the ball away. Kazakhstan break where they do get the opportunity to break. The yellow shirts come sprinting forward. The flag is down. It's been swung into the penalty area. Merkel was the man who was coming in. Palmer just got it away. It's come back out again. And it comes back to Merkel on the edge of the penalty area. Now Kouat. And this time Scotland's pressure does force the mistakes. Good pressure actually from Scotland, throwing on the halfway line.
Yeah, again, a little bit panicky defending. I've got to say, Liam Palmer there, he never really knew what was behind him. I've got to say, it was excellent, the awareness of the player coming in front. But again, he's a little bit kind of suspect with the defending. So I'm just saying, can we get ourselves calm, get on the ball again. A little bit frantic at the minute, trying to rush everything, trying to force the issue. I know we have to. 2-0 down against Kazakhstan, 18 minutes in, but we just need to make sure that we get a foothold in the game, get the ball down, get playing our game, and try and get them moving around.
For reasons unknown, James Forrest is off the pitch at the moment, just getting, maybe it's a boot issue, a bit of strapping that is being done, but Scotland are playing with 10 men for the time being, trailing by 2-0 in the 19th minute. They tried to get Burke away, using that pace and skill. Defender got a touch on it, and it's a corner, first corner of the game.
Well, again, he's a great outlet. He's such a physical, he's specimen of a lad. He can move as well, very fast. We can use him more. The left flank has been very, very successful for us at the minute. He's getting himself in there, and it's just, they're defending well, Kazakhstan, even if it's just a little touch, taking the weight out the ball. They've done very, very well in dealing with that issue.
So the corner will be taken by the captain, Callum McGregor of Celtic, and it's swung towards Palmer on the edge of the penalty area. He gets a volley on it, and it's touched on and just wide. It was a bad effort, was it? But they worked on that. I know they've been together for a few days, try and pick up Liam Palmer on the edge of the box.
Yeah, I think that's definitely been worked on there. Again, he's kept it alive. Not great movement from probably the second phase, which was disappointing, but like you say, it's David Bates that got his head on it. Not really troubled the keeper. And there's 4 players that you could throw a hanky over, isn't there? So it's disappointing there. Bit more movement needed.
David Bates winning his 3rd cap this evening. Big defender who now plays for Hamburg in Germany, having been there with, having joined them from Rangers last year. The goal kick has been taken by Kazakhstan's Dmitro Nepohodov. They've caused problems, kind of beaten in the air, and there's a roar of expectation again because Kazakhstan are attacking. And it was Murtazayev, and the whistle goes against a Kazakhstan player. A little bit of relief for Scotland.
I've got to say, McKenna's got to do better for me there. Big strapping lad, he can go and win his header. He's not won his header, but it's the man that's won the header that's got on to the flick on as well. Can't happen, If one goes round and covers. That's where Bates and McKenna have got to have more communication. One goes, one covers. If it's not Bates that covers, then it's Shinnie that comes round and covers. So it's communication there. Again, inexperience, but they've got to learn. This is, like you say, I think Alex McLeish has come out and said it's for the long term. It's for the future. This is them. They've got an opportunity. They've got to show that they're good enough to be here.
Murtazayev is the centre forward for Kazakhstan. He's a big, strong unit as well. Here's Bates in possession. He's picked out Palmer, and with the outside of his boot, he's rolled it forward to Forrest, who hasn't really managed to threaten Kazakhstan's back line. And there were 3 players around him there as he got close to the corner flag. Scotland win it back halfway inside the Kazakhstan half. It comes back out to Palmer, and then there was a ugly looking challenge there by Kazakhstan's Serki Mali. And Palmer's not happy. He's sitting on the artificial turf, and the referee, Serbian referee, is very demonstrably telling him off, just waving his arms around. There's no yellow card in those hands.
Yeah, I'm surprised at that. I think Liam Palmer knows that he's gonna take one there. It's a lazy challenge. Foot was a little high, and I think he's lucky to get away without a yellow card there. In all honesty, again, this is perfect for McGregor. Can he beat the first man? Ask the question. Just go aim it for the back post, and sometimes it doesn't even need a touch, but need a little bit of luck now.
So Armstrong is out there with him. It's easily for the left footer to swing it into the box. He did. It was won by the first defender. And comes back out again to Palmer, who clips it over the top. Forrest was in there waiting for it in the penalty area. Didn't get that far. Knocked out of the area again, and then smashed forward by Suyumbayev. And the target was Murtazayev. Palmer wins that first to it. Comes off the Kazakhstan defender. And the halfway throw into Scotland.
I've got to say, Kazakhstan, everything that comes into the box, defending well, throwing bodies at it. defending in numbers as well, but doing it well. And the thing about it as well, when they have the opportunity, they just clear their lines. No great quality on the clearance, just loft it up. Can they get out, and then they'll play in the middle of the park. They've got willing runners there that are making bad balls into okay balls, really, you know, and then they're trying to pick up second balls in the middle of the park.
Their Czech coach Michal Bilek was in charge of the Czechs before, and he criticised Craig Levine's Scotland, because Scotland played a 4-6-0 formation against
I was in the squad, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. And
the only thing there, Levine, if he just put a striker in that formation, he just went with midfielders and took the striker out. But he could have, I think Kenny Miller, he could have put him as a striker and no one would have said anything about it. We knew what we knew what he wanted to do. He showed us the video, but to criticise it, we've seen that it had worked. But the only thing Levine done wrong was not put a striker in that starting 11.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because, you know, weighing the shoes on the other foot now, isn't it? With Bilek now in charge of Kazakhstan, although obviously for the smaller nation, or the less fancy nation, it's a much bigger nation, Kazakhstan, than Scotland, but it's gone well, because they're the team defending, and they're the team who are 2-0 up inside the first 10 minutes of the game. We've now played 24, and it's still 2-0 to Kazakhstan. Have never got anywhere near qualifying for a tournament since they switched to Europe. They played the first couple. It was part, if you don't know your historical geography, it was part of the Soviet Union, and then it became independent in 91. First couple of campaigns in Asia, because it is basically in Asia, just north of Afghanistan. And then they made the switch to UEFA, where lots of countries seem to be keen to play. And here they are. It's a long, long way east, though, of the likes of Georgia and Azerbaijan, and obviously, I said 1,400 miles east of Moscow. There's a limit on how many excessive travelling journeys countries can make, but obviously they can't avoid at least one in a group. So Scotland have got the one, I'm afraid, Scotland. It's not started well. Kazakhstan are in possession inside their own half, and it goes long towards Murtazayev, who's a hard-working centre forward. He doesn't get any joy this time.
John's been excellent. He's been excellent. Willing runner, running the channels, and all they're doing is good quality down the sides. This is Oliver Burke again. Come on, Nick. That's where we've got to be better, John. You know, I think getting into good areas. All he needs to do, he's already beat his man with pace, is just cut across the front of him. If he takes him down, so be it. But ask the question. You know, he's got the better of him every time, but they've defended him well. They're not throwing themselves in it. And I've got to say they're dealing with it well. But again, just that final decision, that final bit of quality, that final pass has to be better.
It's Yerlanov, who's the right centre back, making his debut, and he just can't deal with Burke's pace. If only Burke should know that. He's beaten him every time for pace, as you say. So
exactly, John.
Gives him the opportunity to slow down, pick a pass. As yet, hasn't happened for Scotland. Bates has just shepherded the ball out of play inside his own half, throwing it all the way back to his goalkeeper, Scott Bain, who went to Celtic, I think, pretty much accepting to be number 2. But he was promoted into the team. His footballing ability, part of that, the way that Brendan Rodgers was keen to play. And McGinn hits the deck on the halfway line, but there's no whistle to go with it. And so there's a chance to break for Kazakhstan. A little touch around the corner. Murtazayev this time is run out of it by the captain, Conor McGregor.
Better for McGregor as well. You know, that's what he's got to do. He's got to hurry. He's got to be that little dog in there for us as well. He's got great quality when he's on the ball, but without it, he's got to be organising. And you see him now. He's talking more as well. You know, trying to get into the right areas. Can we see a lot of the ball in there? Can we try and dictate it? You know, at the minute, Kazakhstan not seeing a lot of the ball, but when they've got it, very direct, because they've got willing runners, willing workers up top that are making it difficult for our back four.
Liam Palmer, the Scotland right back, takes a throw to John McGinn, a couple of championship players together there. McGinn then switches the play out to Shinnie, the left back, and now the only Premier League player in the lineup, Stuart Armstrong, who surges forward. He's done well. He's gone past a couple, gets to the byline, and he clips it in. The goalkeeper got a hand to it. It will come out to Palmer, and Palmer smashes it against a defender. The referee very quickly put his thumbs up. It was Postnikov who made the block, and it's fallen kindly for Kazakhstan to break again. Zayn Nukdinov, the young winger, in possession, and he waits, and then he releases the forward pass to Murtazayev, the centre forward, who's come a long way back. This is tidy hope from Kazakhstan. Merkel to Kuat. And again, they've managed to isolate the right wing back, and it's cut back towards Pertsuk, who got the first goal. It's nice football, this, from Kazakhstan. The best they've done so far. And this shot has to be tipped over the top by Scott Bain. Scotland are rocking. It was Kuat from distance. They can't afford to concede a third.
Well, I've got to say, what a fantastic strike that was. I'm thinking he can't take it on there. He's got bodies in the box, take the cross on, and he's what Scott Bain. Great save. I've got to say. On the other side of it, Stuart Armstrong, great strong run into the box. Liam Palmer, a bit more belief in the shot. He's coming on to it, strike it well. But again, they're showing great quality, direct, clearly danger area, but willing runners, picking up second balls and have the quality to hurt us as well.
Corner will be taken by Jan Borgovsky. It's dropped in the penalty area. Stuart Armstrong got it away. The header back in towards the edge of the box and an overhead kick. And there's an appeal, but no action taken from the referee. It's into the hands of Bain, Scotland's goalkeeper, very quickly. The kung fu style down the pitch, but it's picked up by the defenders. And Scotland with good pressure.
That wasn't good pressure, John. It was a bit of lazy. It was lazy, you know. They worked their socks off to get out. They get close to it, and if they keep going, they're going to win the ball in a great area. Probably 3 against 4. Again, putting the back foot, allow Kazakhstan out easily, and they're showing they've got good players, good technical players. I think they've got a plan that they sit in. They're organised. They're compact, and then they're explosive. Once they go, if it's a good quality ball down the side or it's direct, they've got willing runners that go up and try and support. At the minute, that's causing us issues. So in the middle of the park, when you talk about McGinn and Armstrong, they've got to follow the runners. They have to follow the runners. We have to pick up more second balls if we're going to be winning the first headers or the flick-ons behind. We have to make sure that we're communicating and following those runs.
Got to finish the job. It's David Bates in possession for Scotland. Just about half an hour to tick round on the clock. A long ball forward comes to nothing. Kazakhstan have it with their goalkeeper at 2-0 to Kazakhstan.
Well, again, he has a great outlet, but we've got to give him quality. That's a fight ball. All Oliver Burke can do there is flick that one on. So if we're going to do it, we need to get James Forrest, we need to get McBurney up round them. So we're picking up the second ball again. It's a nothing ball. If anything, can be put into his chest.
And Kazakhstan on the attack again with Murtatsayev into the penalty area. Zainuddinov has been forced wide. Nice bit of skill, a clever little back heel. An opportunity to cross. Murtatsayev was waiting. The diving header away was from Graham Shinnie. But Kazakhstan are showing us they can play. Alex McLeish says he wasn't going to underestimate Kazakhstan. Good job, because they're actually decent. They've got a game plan. The goals came, if you like, against the run of play, although as they came in the 6th and the 10th minutes, it's sort of hard to say that, but since then they have shown little passages of play, and they're in the middle of one now, and they're on the attack. His left-hand side, Suyonbaya pulls it back to Kuat, who had that super shot a minute ago that Bain had to save. This one smashed into Callum McGregor. The man has gone down, and it's McBurney, isn't it? There's a little collision after Kuat got to that ball first. McBurney is down and in some pain.
Well, I've just got to say, McBurney, to be fair, he's on his back foot. He should actually be reading that anyway. I think McGregor's done very well, and he just left one on him. You know, it's one of them. He's relaxed, he's soft, and he's just had it's body to body. It's a free kick. The referee, I don't think, seen it. It's a little bit naughty, but it's part and parcel of the game. You know, McBurney can't switch off to the enemy. He should be there first, in my opinion.
And he's back upon his feet. Looks a little bit shaken up, but he's okay to continue. Been in the goals a lot for Swansea City of late 18 this season. His last couple of games against Bolton and Liam Palmer's Sheffield Wednesday. But he hasn't had a chance so far. Many of these Scotland players have opened their international accounts. Armstrong's got 1 and Forrest has got 5. Is that your loss? It's not a lot, is it, around within the Scotland setup? We were talking beforehand and throughout the game, Scotland's inexperience, and I suppose it's been evident in the game so far.
I've got you say Scotland's inexperience here, but we look at the goals. You know, straight away there's no pressure on the ball. The defensive line was probably too high. When there's no pressure on the ball, John, what do you do as a defender? You've got to drop, you've got to be aware of the space behind. You weren't. It was an excellent ball, excellent run, fantastic finish. Again, Graham Shinnie playing in the left back position that we've had some issues with. Again, he's captain for Aberdeen. He's a voice. He understands the game. He's oversold himself. He's invited the space behind him. The space between him and Scott McKenna was far too big. and they showed they had that quality to execute the pass. So you're talking about inexperience. I'm saying that's simple basics of football. You can't, when there's no pressure on the ball, as a defender, you drop, you make sure that the space behind you. Even Scott Bain's got a part to play there. Can he come and sweep round? If he does come up with a step, then he doesn't have the time to take the touch and finish the way that he does.
They've got two very good left backs, Scotland. Neither of them are fit for this game. Or actually, tantalisingly, of course, Andrew Robertson is fit, but not able to be here because he's had his dental operation, and now he's fit again, but not here. 2-0 to Kazakhstan in the 34th minute of the game. Two early goals. Beside the Eurasians, I suppose we should say, because part of Kazakhstan, I think, is technically in Europe, which is why they're in. Free kick goes Scotland's way, fouled by Merkel, slap bang in the centre of the park.
And I've got to say, I think the ref has been a little bit generous there as well. I think he's got the ball. You know what? He has touched the ball. The rest probably got it right. But for me, McGregor, you can take that ball on. You know, he knows he's protected himself well. And probably I'm probably being a bit hard on the referee there. I think he's probably got that one right.
So the free kick, it's maybe 40 yards from the goal. McGregor can take it, Armstrong can take it, the same pair standing over the ball every time that Scotland get one of these set pieces. They've had a few. David Bates has just jogged to the edge of the penalty area. It's Armstrong to take it on. First header was won by a Scottish player. I think it might have been McGinn in there in the crowd, and it's looped behind, and it remains 2-0 to Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I've got to say, Armstrong, great ball in, and McGinn, he's actually ducked to head it, hasn't he? For me, you just put the foot on that. Can he do it? Is it possible? He's put the head down. Nah, not possible. He's done all right there. Can he just put it back into the danger area? You know, looking at it again, he's probably, he's put his head down. It's came off the back of his head. Put a strong head on it. Put it back across, and you got McBurney in there who's alive to it.
Long clearance from Kazakhstan's goalkeeper. One in the air by Bates, but then the second header won by a yellow shirt for Kazakhstan. Armstrong then beaten in the midfield. Kazakhstan able to switch it out to this left-hand side. Suyan, Bayev and Merkel. Now they've made a mistake, and it's a little ricochet. Falls for Oliver McBurney, 25 yards out from goal. Plenty of yellow shirts in front of him. Driven on by Armstrong of Southampton. He leaves it for Forrest to come dancing infield, and now McGinn can pull the trigger from there, and it's deflected. It's deflected high, deflected more on target than I think it was going. A little bit of luck Scotland's way in a corner.
I give him a little bit of credit there, John. I thought it was off McBurney there, the deflection, but again, better. He's taken it upon himself to ask the question. The shot, if it opens up, why not take it on? He's shown that he's got that quality from that area as well.
It is off. Just having a look at the replay. Kazakhstan's number 16, Suyan Bayev. So they've got a corner. We know that McGinn can score a spectacular goal. He's got a couple for Aston Villa this season. Corner to be taken by Scotland's captain, Callum McGregor. 2-0 it remains to Kazakhstan. Scotland have got a lot of work to do here. When you look down at Scotland's performance over the years, there aren't too many horrible score lines in this unfortunate series of not qualifying for games. It's just unable to really get the better of the world rankings that puts them in with tough nations all the time. They've never really been able to pull one off against a super team, to ruin to break the rankings and to get themselves an easier group next time.
Yeah, you were saying this off air that that is an issue, but again, it's something that these teams, they have to kind of do again what I guess a Wales done, you know, like go out there and surpass expectation, and maybe that will work in their favour that little bit more.
Kazakhstan lead by 2-0 against Scotland. It's the start of their qualifying group. They've got San Marino to come. A little bit of negotiation up when the fixtures come. Then what Scotland have got themselves is two very tough games back to back that come up in September against the sides that have the opportunity to win the group, really. So Belgium and Russia, and so that's really when it will be won and lost in those days, in those games. Although having said that, what they mustn't do, as we said at the beginning, is leave points behind in the likes of Kazakhstan, and that's what we are looking at the moment. Scotland trail by 2-0 against Kazakhstan.
Well, I've got to look at the I think John McGinn, Stuart Armstrong and McGregor. For me, they've got a big part to play tonight. Got to get on the ball for us, make it tick, and see what we can do. Ask the question. McGinn's already shown there, like, taking a shot from distance, but I've got to say, I think Oliver Burke and McBurney, they're big players. The chance is going to come. Can they take it upon themselves and be clinical when it does arise?
A free kick taken by McGregor again, Scotland's captain. Similar position to the last one, actually. Probably about 40 yards from goal, and he floats it up towards the back post. First header is won by Scotland, but as ever this evening, the same outcome in that Kazakhstan then clear. Chile tries to put a challenge in, but he's simply run all the way through it, and there's no offside, and Kazakhstan break into a dangerous position again, and the cross goes into the penalty area, and Merkel just unable to get up and get a header in, so he checks out, recycles possession, Kua, and then comes back out again to Pertsuk, challenged by McGinn, and the second one then is won by Burke, but there's no one forward then for Scotland, and so Kazakhstan can attack again, and it goes into the penalty area. Scotland a little fortunate there that there was a slip from the centre forward. Otherwise there could have been more trouble there. Murtadzaev unable to make the best of it. Scotland still got to clear their lines. McGinn turns and is able to skip forward. Breaks down, I'm afraid. His pass straight out of play. Untidy from Scotland.
Yeah, I've got to say it is a little bit untidy. Again, there's a chance here. I've got to say it's Graham Shinney. Can he go through the tackle? I think McGregor's put a ball in. We've won the first ball, and I think we've got to be a little bit more alive to the second. We've allowed Kazakhstan to break, but it's a 50-50 ball, John, and I've got to say, what I've seen, I'm not having that at all. Then they get into the final third, and we're not getting close enough to our players. Oliver Butt there comes and he intercepts, and all he can do is play it back again. So yeah, you have to regroup, be compact again, you have to break down, but they've got willing runners. They're not scared. As soon as they see the passes on, they let it go, and they're causing us some issues with that.
In the 40th minute at the Astana Arena on TalkSport 2, it is Kazakhstan 2, Scotland 0. The first game of the Euro 2020 qualifiers. Scotland will be among the host nations, that much we know, but there's no guarantee, I'm afraid, because there are multiple hosts, so there's no guarantee that being a host will get you there. Got to earn your place. Liam Palmer swung the ball into the penalty area, and McBurney was the target. It's cleared though, and McGregor, and then Armstrong, Burke, and it's back out of the area again. Now Burke turns, he's 30 yards from goal. Nice bit of skill, but it's good work by Kuat, the midfielder for Kazakhstan, who's stuck to the task, and they break forward now. Zainutdinov, the talented young winger, who's trying to wrestle his way past Bates. The referee says no foul.
Yeah, I've got to say there as well, David Bates, it's a fantastic challenge. He's done well, got in front, he's gave it to Liam Palmer, he's went back to Scott Baines where he can just turn, and then the pitch is completely open behind him. That's when we've got to think space awareness, where can we go, rather than back, can we move forward?
Throw to Scotland inside their own half. Liam Palmer throws it back. Chris Willemo doesn't like it.
I don't understand why he's going back. You've got McGregor in there, you've got McGinn in there, comfortable footballers that can receive it to feet no matter how tight, but there's space.
And a long ball this time, and Forrest chases over from the right midfield position all the way over to the left side of the penalty area. The goalkeeper got there before he did. I wonder whether, with 3 minutes to go to the break and 2-0 down, Alex McLeish might be thinking of a reorganisation at half-time.
Yeah, okay, I understand. I think reorganisation, 2-0 down. You've got to say they're respecting us at the minute. They sit back, they allow us to get the ball. Can we be better in certain situations? Yes, we can. I don't think we'll think about it too much. I think the Oliver Burke down the left hand, that's been success. Final passes probably let us down. Can we probably force the issue a little bit, get him on the ball a lot more, try and go down, use that as an advantage, try and get more bodies into the box when he does break down that left flank.
Goalkeeper goes long for Kazakhstan towards their centre forward Murtadzaev. Now Suyembayev into the midfield for Kuat, and Pertsuk, who scored the early goal that really knocked Scotland back, half as much as the second one did a couple of minutes after that. 3 minutes to the break. Scotland still trail by those two early goals against Kazakhstan. This would be a real blow to their confidence after having had such a good Nations League campaign in getting past the likes of Albania and Israel, and getting promotion to League B for the next time the Nations League is played. It's an experiment, the Nations League, very much warmly received so far in Scotland and England for that matter as well, having had success, having seen the upside of it, certainly for countries like Kazakhstan. They didn't do as well because they lost out to Georgia, but real opportunities for countries that don't win many football matches to play some international football and actually win some games.
No, I think it was a success, wasn't it? There was a lot of you've got to give it the plaudits it deserves. For me, I can't argue. It gives Scotland that second chance to get into a big one. So it's one of them. But again, it's done. It's been a successful campaign. We're on to the next. I've got to say, disappointing start, but there is time. We've already showed in the last game that we have goals. Now James Forrest 5 in the last 2. There's goals in the pitch. Oliver Burke, form for a club. Can he bring it to that international stage? So there's the expectations. I'm sure there'll be a few kind of harsh words said at half time, and we should see a reaction from that. But there's still going to be opportunity. Can we nab a goal before the whistle?
The Kazakhstan medical staff are on the pitch at the moment. Faiz-Lambek QS just a twist on the ankle on this hard surface. The players didn't complain about it, to be fair, did he? Stuart Armstrong beforehand said we like the surface, we're not complaining about it. So maybe he was putting a brave face on it. It would be disappointing, I think, Scotland now to complain about it afterwards, of course, if they are unable to turn this scoreline around. Here's Graham Shinnie's on halfway. His players restarted now. David Bates goes forward to Liam Palmer, right back, making his debut for a pretty novice looking Alex McLeish side. A long ball forward. Doesn't go down well in the former Scotland international Christo Wellamo, and then it's a long ball forward for Zainutdinov, but he loses out to Bates, and Palmer goes back to the goalkeeper again.
Yeah, I've got to say there's no need to force it. You've got McGregor, like you say, Armstrong and McGinn in there. Even Forrest has come in from the wide right area. That's when you don't need to go big to Oliver Burke. It's a great outlet, but we've got to give him quality so he can make it stick, get in behind the quality, or come off the front and spin in behind. We've got to use the ball. It's better from McGinn here.
Nice turn by John McGinn. He's halfway inside Kazakhstan's half. They've worked it forward to Forrest. 1 minute time being added on at the end of the first half. The assistant referee agrees with Chris Iwolo, and he waves his flag above his head.
He's giving it the free kick. That's a disgrace, John. I don't know what I'm seeing. James Forrest has asked the question. He's pushed it in behind and he's went, and it's arm across. There is a little pull, but he's put the arm across. That's a two-way thing. For me, it's a corner kick. So the linesman got that one wrong. For that to be a Forrest a free kick to Kazakhstan, I don't see it.
And the goalkeeper has pinched a bit of ground as well. That was right on the byline that incident happened, and he's taken it from probably 10 metres further up the pitch. Small margins, a huge clearance downfield then by the Kiev-born goalkeeper for Kazakhstan, and McBurney just has had hardly any joy. He's done well there. He's forced the ball against the defender, won a throw. Palmer goes back. It's a lack of options a few times, I think, when Liam Palmer's had possession, and they work it back out towards the left back by the two central defenders, but it has not been threatening, and it's the home supporters who have enjoyed this first half. And what a tough start it has been for Scotland at the beginning of their European Championship qualifying campaign. We've hit half-time in the Astana Arena. Early goals from Pertsuk and Vodagovsky had Scotland reeling, and at the break it is Kazakhstan 2, Scotland 0. Thank you, John, and welcome back to the Astana Arena. Kazakhstan 2, Scotland 0. Kazakhstan ranked 117 in the world. This would be an embarrassing setback for Scotland, as well as an obvious blow in terms of their qualification for Euro 2020. Looking back at Kazakhstan's famous results of the past, they beat Serbia in 2007 in the Euro qualifiers, but there aren't many along the way. Only 3 World Cup qualifiers since they've been a European-based nation. Only 4 in the Euros. They have won, so it's 7, and this is match number 77 for them. So they would consider themselves to be on the brink of history. They're in all yellow. In the way of international football now, teams playing in one colour, Scotland in all dark blue. So that much is traditional, that much is good for Scotland. It's a very young, inexperienced team with Scott Bain in goal, winning only his second cap. First competitive game for the Celtic keeper. And first 90 minutes as well, hopefully. Liam Palmer of Sheffield Wednesday is their right back. David Bates of Hamburg. Scott McKenna of Aberdeen is the central defensive partnership, and then Graham Shinney at left back, and then John McGinn in the midfield. Callum McGregor is the captain, winning his 10th cap tonight. Stuart Armstrong of Southampton, and then the wide attackers were Oliver Burke and James Forrest, and Ollie McBurney with a lone frontman role, the Swansea City man. It's been tough for him, it's been tough for Scotland's attackers, because Kazakhstan have sat and defended pretty deep and effectively, and a couple of times Scotland went to sleep. They had the 2 goals obviously, but also the best chance really. Bain has made a save, and truth be told, Nepohodov at the other end hasn't made a save.
No, you're spot on. It was a great save as well. It was an unexpected shot, but Bain, he dealt with it. It's a difficult one, because Kazakhstan they've come into it with a game plan that we're not going to go and we're not going to play the high press. We'll invite them on, and hopefully we can, the quality, that they won't be that good in the ball, and we can break it and play counter-attack football. They've got willing runners up there. The front 3, when they link up very, very well. They go from back to front with pace. But the first ball's not great quality, and like you said, we've just fell asleep on occasion and allowed them to hurt us.
A little foul there by Yuri Pertsuk in the midfield. Nepohodov is the goalkeeper for Kazakhstan. 3 central defenders, Yelanov, Postnikov and Mali, and then the wing backs are Borokovsky, who scored the second goal, and Surumbayev on the left side. Actually decent quality in the midfield. Pertsuk, the hard running midfielder, and they've gone long, and they're onside again, and it's cut back into the penalty area, and it just goes behind Murtazayev from Nudinov. Scotland have given the ball away yet again. The shot is this time well off target. The chance though was that opportunity to play it in, not that Zayev that he got wrong.
Well, I've got to say it came from John McGinn. The ball's come up and it's bounced off him. He's done well with the hold up play, then the pass has been a little bit short. Kazakhstan's won possession of the ball again, couple of nice little passes, it goes back, but as soon as the 2 players, as soon as it goes back, the 2 players that play it back, they've bombed on. And that's all they think about. They think, right, can we put it down the sides, down the channels with a little bit of quality? And the timing on the runs have been excellent, and they're onside again there, and we're scrambling. If it's a better pass across, he's coming on to a free shot at Scott Bain's goal.
Scotland attack with Liam Palmer, who's seen plenty of the ball actually. He's inside Kazakhstan's half as he tries to slip it into the feet of McGinn, and then Forrest with a clip ball over the top. Poor Liam Palmer with a mistake out of play.
It's just those little moments. McGinn's done excellent. You know, he's made it stick. He's got three Kazakhstan players around him, and he's done well. He's kept it alive. The ball goes out. It's on the surface as well. It's just simple. Liam Palmer, get the ball down. You've got 4 bodies in the box. Ask the question.
So far it's been an unhappy debut for Liam Palmer. Didn't have any part to play, particularly in the goals, must be said, but hasn't been a good day for Scotland. 9 o'clock kick-off Kazakhstan time. Because of the physical demands of changing time zones, Scotland just stayed on their own time. There's a retractable roof, but it's closed at the moment because it's cold in Kazakhstan. 1,400 miles east of Moscow, so imagine going to Ukraine and keep going, go past Georgia, Azerbaijan, the Caspian Sea, all of that, keep going, and eventually you get to Kazakhstan, not far away from China and Mongolia. It seems not a welcoming place at the moment for Scotland.
So I'm seeing John McGinn getting on the ball a lot now at the minute, and that's what you want. But I want it from Armstrong, I want it from McGregor as well. You know, he's trying to make things happen. He's getting at it. He's running at players. You know, and he's trying to make something happen. That's the demands that you got here. And here goes Armstrong again. That's better. Better be direct. We've got pace. We've got power. Pick up second balls.
But it ricochets back Kazakhstan's way as the growing roar around the stadium will tell you. Yuri Pertsuk does the possession for them, and then Merkel with a change of direction. And he comes to this left side. Surumbayev delivers it into the penalty area, and the header is kept in. It is 3-0. This is utterly extraordinary. Kazakhstan 3, Scotland 0. Zayev Nudinov, the young winger, with a fabulous header that just crept inside the far post. Scotland are reeling. They're down on their knees. 3-0 down against Kazakhstan.
Well, I've got to say it's a nothing ball in there. McKenna he's backtracking. It's a great header. It's a great header. You know, put it exactly where it came from. He's rose. He's met the ball at the highest height. for me, defensively, it's shocking. No pressure on the ball coming in. You know, he can pick his man out. The ball, it's a great ball. It's a great ball, but the run, the leap, the accuracy of the header. You know what? Outstanding finish, but defensively shocking. Defensively shocking for you, John.
Well, this is unbelievable. We talked beforehand it might be a tough game for Scotland, but Cleese said he was going to respect Kazakhstan. The very fact that he's asked the question, of course, means that people are thinking that they might not respect Kazakhstan. There's a disrespect in the fact that people are asking the question about, are Kazakhstan any good? Any good, dear me. I mean, there's nothing like this in their recent history. Their game, awkward games. Poland and Romania have dropped points here. But this is not just dropping points. This, I'm afraid to say, Chris, Scotland are being hammered at the moment. It's 3-0.
Well, they've had 4 opportunities. They've got 3 goals. That says a lot about defending in an international match, and I think it's been great finishes. I think all the first one was struck with power, great run, great pass. The second one, great pass, again a fantastic run from the right back, who actually slides and beats Bain in the goal. And that one, no pressure on the cross coming in. The ball was met at its highest point that he could, and the direction he got. Bain doesn't have a chance there, but I've got to say defensively McKenna can do better. Put more pressure on the man. Can we put more pressure on the man putting the cross coming in? Of course we can. So disappointing. And like you say, I asked the question at half time before we started, would you take a point? I'm looking at 3-0 now. Of course I would.
Yes, very gratefully. About 650 Scotland fans have made the journey. There are 650 stony faces in this stadium. The home supporters are enjoying themselves. They've never seen anything like this. McGregor's in possession for Scotland. I didn't see a half-time stat for possession. I bet you Scotland have had more of the ball though. Armstrong's in possession, the Southampton player, and he goes out to Liam Palmer. Palmer clips a floated ball into the penalty area, away by Yulanov, the debutant for Kazakhstan. Forrest, left side of the area, the Celtic man, and then McGregor switches it out to Palmer, who's found plenty of room again. He's floated one up, and the goalkeeper comes and gets it easily.
It's a nothing ball. I've got to say, I know he's come in, but you've got to go with pace. He's got good quality with him there. He's got about 6 bodies in the box there. You can't just loft it up straight into the keeper's hands. You've got to just try and go with a little bit of pace, beat the first man, and ask that question.
This time a long ball from Kazakhstan. It's too long, and Bain just ducks his head underneath it. Bain moves it quickly though. The goalkeeper throws it out to Shini. Bit of a makeshift left back, but he has played there before. And he gets a free kick because he's nudged over as he tries to play the ball forward by Zainutdinov, the youngster who scored that 3rd goal. Very well judged header. And to be fair, he'd had an opportunity not a couple of minutes earlier where he'd messed up his final ball to Murtatsayev. Otherwise it could have been 3-0 a bit earlier, I suppose. Armstrong's got possession for Scotland. The trouble with the very young, inexperienced squad for Alex McLeish, an awful lot of obvious options left on the bench. McGinn has clipped it forward looking for Burke. It will fall towards McBurney, and a chance for Armstrong, and a wonderful save. Well, that was so much better from Scotland. The midfielder got the run right, but Nepal Hodov got down smartly and turned it behind.
Well, I've got to say, great little bit of play, link up, came back, he was set through Armstrong. For me, he's done everything right. Could he go with a little bit of power? It was in his stride. McBurney's put him through. He just tried to slot it. I'm hitting that. I've got to say, I'm lacing that, John. I'm putting everything into it, hitting the target with power, making it as hard as possible. Fantastic save, though.
Corner taken, punched away by the goalkeeper who just made that save. Palmer scrapping for the ball down near the corner flag, lost out. There were 2, and then McGregor's conceded the free kick. He's done well there, the Kazakhstan player, because there wasn't a lot of contact.
Yeah, just the legs up caught up, John, didn't it? It's one of them. If it can go either way, but like you said, there is contact. He did fall. But again, Liam Palmer a little bit softer on the challenges. Be strong be strong, get your body in front of the ball. But better from Scotland there. That's the kind of thing. That chance got to be put in the back of the net. If we've got any chance of getting back in this match, we've got to be clinical.
Free kick taken to Zainutdinov. He's right by the corner flag. Both players turn and raise a hand, appealing it's gone Scotland's way. Grim-faced Scott McKenna comes walking away. Zainutdinov hobbles away a little bit. Discussions going on the bench for Scotland. I wonder whether they will be making changes. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Obviously, there's a long way back from here. Got to surely throw some caution to the wind, isn't it? There's no point from here holding on to anything.
No, I've got to agree. You look at the bench, there is some players, a little bit of flair. I think we've got to try and get back into it. But again, you don't want to concede anymore. I think goal difference is important now. You can't use it as a point in group stages. But I'm just so disappointed. 3-0 down. It's a young squad, but it's not an excuse. These players are good enough. Collectively doing it for their club, but they've been asked a question tonight and they're falling short.
Burke just out of play. He thought he'd done enough. I thought he'd actually done enough.
I agree. I thought he'd done enough, but like you say,
there's a temptation always for people to think that the ball's out of play when it's not. I think it's probably above the line anyway. Throw in for Kazakhstan. Jan Vorogovsky, their right wing back, has taken it. That's good play though. Marshall very quickly won it back for Scotland, midway inside Kazakhstan's half. Palmer now with an early ball into the penalty area, and the flick on by McBurney, and it fell for Forrest. It was a shooting chance, and I'm afraid that has trickled through to the goalkeeper.
No, I've got to say, I think the ball from Palmer, I've got to say, fantastic ball from Palmer. But Burnley's done it, kept it alive. James Forrest, the form that he's on, you just hit that. You don't try and place that, you put that in the laces. He's watching it all the way. He's made good contact with instep of his foot. That's when you put laces on it, John. Again, you go with power. Is he a little bit weary that he might take a little knock from the defender coming there? Who cares? It's an opportunity to put one in the back of the net. That's when you put everything through it. You put the laces on that one.
Encouraging that Scotland have had 2 chances. Armstrong's brought a good save. That was easy for Nepohodov, that save. And Scotland go long again. Shinny high and long towards the edge of the penalty area. Kuat though can collect it, and now Pertsuk with the long ball forward for Kazakhstan, and the front pair have worked together well. Mutatsayev has possession. He's able to bring it back and get the midfielder on the ball. Now it's with the hard-working Mutatsayev again. Come inside, came back inside with a purpose there. John McGinn stopped him before he was able to pull the trigger. And Scotland go back to Scott Bain, the Celtic goalkeeper. Now, Scotland's young captain, Callum McGregor, in possession. Young, I suppose, but relatively inexperienced. Andrew Robertson is the main captain, the Liverpool man, who's probably watching this at home. Maybe he's listening on TalkSport 2. Maybe he's going to walk the dog or something if he can't take any more. They've got a chance to put it right, I suppose, against San Marino. Front-loaded their easy away games. Scotland, Belgium and Russia meet tonight. I suppose those two would be the obvious favourites. They'd be looking at Scotland, of course, as the main threat to them. And they will be absolutely thrilled with what they've seen so far, Belgium and Russia. Cyprus, San Marino is coming later as well in this group. Loads of qualifiers going on. Head up by the Kazakhstan defender back to Nepohodov.
Well, I've got to say, it's great defending. The balls came up, he knew exactly where he was, he knew where his keeper was. Is it communication? That little bit of experience, it does play a part. But again, I think they've been excellent. They defended well. We've not took our chances, and it's 2 good chances as well. That's James Forrest, a player who's on form internationally. 5 goals in his last 2. Armstrong again, put him in that position again. What would you do? I'm thinking he's putting the laces right through it, and it's hitting the back of the net, because this is what he does. This is what he brings. He makes those breaking runs, those stop man runs into the box, and he's usually clinical in those positions.
Just saw a replay, Chris, of the incident, the shot from Forrest. There's a little nudge on John McGinn in the penalty area. No one really appealed too much at the time. Substitution coming here for Scotland. Only McBurney is being withdrawn. Johnny Russell coming on.
So what was that? Oliver Burke probably go up top on his own.
Russell is with Sporting the City these days. Scored a good goal. He's the ex-Derby Dundee United man, scored against Colorado Rapids. Now going to get his first international goal, made his debut 2014 against England. Been around a long time. Now moving into double figures for caps.
Yeah, good player. I think again, direct, tidy with the ball. score some goals as well, to be fair to him, so can he get into the box and ask some questions for us. But yeah, he's a little bit of experience as well, be a voice, good character as well to have around, but he's got to go in there and try and show something and maybe drag a few to his level as well.
61 minutes played. If you've just joined us on TalkSport 2, if you're Scottish, then you won't like it, I'm afraid. It is Kazakhstan 3, Scotland 0. There may be some mean-spirited English people who are enjoying this, Chris, but we'll ignore those mean-spirited people for now. And Scotland are struggling big time here.
Well, again, Johnny Russell there, he just had one right down the Achilles as well, so yeah, welcome to the game.
So, a nudge in the back and then ouch, stamp on the back of the leg. The ball's out of play for a throw to Kazakhstan. It's in their own defensive kind of area. They're in no hurry. Of course they're in no hurry in the match situation.
I think we just got to tidy it up a little bit there. James Forrest, a little flick for Graham Shinnie there, and it wasn't good enough. You know, it gave him a big job to do there. So just can we tidy it up, make sure the ball's under control. If you can see someone in the eyes, then you give him it. Get good possession of the ball. You know, we've got good players, technical players as well. We've not seen much of that tonight.
There's Forrest. He's out of play as he tries to play a short pass, only a metre or two to Shinnie. Play him again. Kazakhstan in no great hurry at all. Vorogovsky walks a long way forward. Give him a nudge, and eventually he takes the throw, but 5 metres away from where it went out of play. Scotland quickly get it back again. Liam Palmer on the halfway line. He looks up, picks up the long ball, delivers the long ball. It's towards Forrest, who's had that shift of position. But again, he can't find anyone in blue. It's out of play before Vorogovsky can play it, so it's a Scotland throw. It's Shinnie to take it. And he goes into the feet of James Forrest, into big switch ball across, but Palmer's touch goes back. He's played it safe lots of times.
Yeah, too many times.
And Russell now has it, and he dips the shoulder and comes inside, plays it into the feet of Perkins, the penalty area, cut back towards Forrest, super defending. Just as Forrest was thinking of pulling the trigger, the Kazakhstan defender got across and made the block. Yeah,
great little bit of skill from Burke there as well. He did have Palmer. He could have just set him, he can see all in front of him, but again, we've got James Forrest probably be a little bit more alert to that Burke's got that, you know, they have that connection, club level as well, they know each other, so he knows what he's about, you know, but great little bit of skill in the box from Burke there as well.
A throw for Scotland on halfway, claimed by Johnny Russell.
Well, Johnny Russell's walking with a limp as well, John. You know, that's 30 seconds into the match. He's had one right down the Achilles, and you can see that he's got a little limp.
It's not a good sign, is it? The man who's just on the pitch and almost immediately involved in a crash. He got subbed over, and then a little stamp or a wake of the boot. The home supporters enjoying themselves at the Astana arena on this carpet. Scotland knocking the ball around, enjoying possession, but it's pointless possession, I'm afraid. It goes then, and they try to go long, they try to be incisive, is when Kazakhstan are able to slam the door shut back to halfway. Scotland in possession. Russell rolls it back to McKenna, slips it forward towards Forrest, who turns, and then comes the pressure when they're about halfway inside, and it's given away again. And what they've done effectively is break with their front two whenever they've had the chance, and Mutatsev has it. Vorogovsky sprinting down the right side. It's good work from him, the score of the second of the 3 goals for Kazakhstan. And they're in possession again. It's Pertsuk, the score of the first of the goals. Switched across to Surumbayev. Full spell of possession. Kuat is struggling in the midfield for Kazakhstan, the main central midfield player, hobbling around. And they've given the ball away. Scotland can have another go at it.
Free kick, that's
got to be. No, it's not. No foul. And Kazakhstan can attack. He's there by the referee, surely, and the long-range shot gives Bain some work to do. It was that Zayev, easy one really for Scott Bain.
So that couple of minutes just came from a poor touch from Johnny Russell. You know, he's dropped himself right in front of the back four, in front of the left back actually, Graham Shinnie, but you know what, we've got to be better, we've got to tidy it up, those little moments, can it stick, can we play that little kind of two-touch football, and we're just letting ourselves down at the minute.
Armstrong with a high, long ball, the left back ducks his head, not sure it's running out of play, and McGinn was trying to keep it in, and he nudged over the defender, Suyembayev. Just given us a goal kick. Suyembayev doesn't complain, there's more activity on the bench for Kazakhstan with Mikhail Bilek, former Czechoslovakian international midfielder who was then the Czech Republic coach. Certainly enjoyed this particular game against Scotland so far. We're midway through the second half now. Kazakhstan 3, Scotland 0. And in terms of embarrassing scorelines, I'm afraid this one is high up there in Scotland's history. Major tournaments are the ones that spring to mind, of course, but this is a very bad start to their qualifying campaign.
Well, it's disappointing, I've got to say. I totally agree. There's no excuse, you know. I was confident, quietly confident before the match started, but even the first 6 minutes I thought we started well, using the ball well. Kazakhstan, they've played it out perfectly, you know, came with a game plan. They still look fresh, you know, they're sitting in, they're compact, they're organised, they're busting forward every opportunity they can, but they bust forward with numbers. And you know what, more often than not, they ask the question of Scott Bain at the end of it as well. I think that's where we've let ourselves down. We've had little passages to play. We've got into the final third, and just that final pass has let us down. We haven't asked too many questions, and when we got into that position, Armstrong, he did a fantastic save. James Forrest could have done better. You know, I think just little moments where where that final pass could be better, where that final decision could be better. We've not been switched on enough.
There's a like-for-like change for Kazakhstan, and the hard-working Mutatsayev has gone off, and Turizbek has come on for him, gone into the same position, it would seem, alongside Zayat Nutdinov, and the two up front. It's worked well, hasn't it, for Kazakhstan? They've defended very deep at times, which meant that they've gone long, but when they've gone long, it's been pretty effective, and those guys work really well together, and a miss control by Zayat Nutdinov. He's got a pass from his new strike partner, gives Scotland the chance to attack, and they're going notably longer, and Burke's touch has got away from him through to the keeper.
And that's the difference, you know, like you said there, they go from back to front direct, they've got willing runners, they make it stick, they ask the question there, but I think he can just control it. He's 1v1, he's shown already tonight that he can do that. He's comfortable facing up, going direct, he can go past them either side. He doesn't have to take the ball by him first touch, you know, and I just think in those situations we're trying to force the situation to happen. It's a fantastic ball, he's got to get it under control, then take him on 1v1, take him into the box, and that's where he comes into his own.
Change coming now for Scotland as well. John McGinn's number 4 is up, and he sprints over to the sideline. Scott McTominay will be his replacement. Lancaster born Manchester United midfield player. I've seen him playing in the Premier League and the Champions League for that matter this season. Scotland were keen to get him. Alex McLeish went to see him, to visit him, and of course took an interest as well, but Scotland keen, where he's pledged his future, made his competitive debut against Albania, so he is now fully fledged Scotland international. This is 6th cap tonight, and he's come on into the midfield. Big man operating in the midfield, brings a bit of physicality to it. Tough task though, 21 minutes to play and they're 3-0 down, and despite having a couple of chances just after going 3-0 down, haven't sustained any pressure, Scotland, since then.
Yeah, and that's the disappointing thing, you know. Kazakhstan they're not letting up, they're still very much in control, I would say. You know, when we do have that opportunity, we've not basically created those passages of play that we're dominant, we're forcing them back and it's an onslaught, balls into the box, asking the question of the keeper. We've not seen that. Little glimpses, all of a sudden when those chances have arose, we've not taken them. So again, we can, and I've got to say, it comes down to the back four as well. Can we step up? Can we close those little the areas, the distances? But in doing that, Kazakhstan do it very well. They go from back to front, the direct ball, and they've got willing runners going in behind. How many times already, John, have they played the offside role very, very well, and they've put us on the back foot.
20 minutes to play. It's the first time this back four has been together, obviously as a unit. Palmer making his debut, Shinia left back. I mean, the central defenders have played together before. Payne's only winning his second cap. They've been caught out a number of times. More defending to do. Palmer does it well. There's a yellow shirt down on the ground. The test of Scotland's sportsmanship here, and they have. Graham Chitty's decided to let the ball run out of play. You hope that the referee will add a bit on.
Well, you're hoping so. This is part and parcel of football. It's going to happen, especially now. 19 minutes to go. They're going to kill the game off. 3-0 up. We just have to be positive. We have to get on the ball. We have to take chances now. I'm not talking about being losing that discipline and taking unnecessary chances, but we have to force this issue a little bit now. 20 minutes to go. It is embarrassing. 3-0. Was it? Did you say 117? And it's not good enough. It's not good enough. It doesn't matter what age, experience. We've got good players, good depth in squad. We've not seen them at their best at all tonight.
Scotland have gone long. They'll try and chase this down because it's got to be cleared by the Kazakhstan defender. It's out of play for the throw. Zaitnukdinov is back up on his feet and okay. It was Scott McKenna's challenge, just left a little bit on him after the two of them had gone. Palmer takes a throw in front of a row of army recruits or soldiers sitting there in full uniform. The last touch comes off the Sheffield Wednesday player, and it's a goal kick for Kazakhstan, who are closing in on a famous victory.
Yeah, again, you know what I'd rather just say? I'd say Oliver Burke, go up there, get yourself up there with Johnny Russell, just pull the line, can we go direct, pick up second balls, get us up the pitch, and saying it, it's part and parcel of football. Football's all about winning games. It's nice ticky-tacky stuff, playing it out from the back, but there's a moment now that we have to try and get something out of this, salvage something. 3-0 down, whatever, 18 minutes to go. I'm not seeing enough drive, enough passion. We're chasing it, we're still yards off.
A little back heel around the Olays from the Kazakhstan supporters. It breaks down, then when it goes forward to Zainutdinov. But Scotland measured again, isn't it? They haven't been up and at them. They haven't got Kazakhstan rocking in the way that they themselves have been pegged back. It's a free kick for Kazakhstan just inside their own half.
Yeah, the referee's got that one wrong for me. I think it's a soft one, but it's a free kick on McTominay anyway first, and it's sloppiness from him. It's laziness. He's waiting for the challenge to come. It's just football. You've got to be alive. If you don't get it, you got up and get the ball again.
And McTominay just on. It was Merkel, the guy who, the ex-Watford and Milan guy who won the free kick from him. He's been good actually. He's been in the Kazakhstan setup before, but it was 2015, and then he's obviously shown an interest in coming back, and they're obviously keen to have him because he's brought some good quality. He set up the early goal that really shaped the game. They took the lead in the 6th minute, they grabbed the second in the 10th, and then the third came in the 51st minute, and as yet those goals are unanswered. Boragovsky tries a little bit of skill, scored the second goal, tries to get to the byline. Last touch though off a Kazakhstan player. Throw for Scotland in their own left back area to be taken by Shinnie. Andrew Robertson will be available again. They'll have a few available again, obviously, won't they, with Patterson and Fraser be made available against San Marino. They particularly need it, with all due respect to San Marino, that they're not the same challenge that Kazakhstan. Scotland are 3-0 down against San Marino. There really will be questions in Parliament.
I think San Marino will be looking at this match thinking it's game on, but no, take the funny side away, it's not good enough. It's not been good enough. I think Alex McLeish, his hands been forced a little bit. He's put in some young players, but good young players, and they've been found wanting. I think men against boys, as they say, and it's been very evident. Kazakhstan look strong still. They look comfortable. They're working in the right areas. They're playing in the right areas, and they're working very, very hard to make sure that they're disciplined enough as well. And like you say, I think if you look at the chances created and the goals on the board, they're doing their job perfectly.
Yeah, it's not some total rookie Scotland. I know in terms of international experience, there's very little of that, and I suppose you've got to say that will form a lot of the questions you would imagine to Alex McLeish after the game. It'd be interesting to see whether he grasps that as an excuse, or whether he sees that as hanging his players out to dry, which he might do.
I think as a manager, he's got a responsibility to the players. I think I agreed with him. His hands been forced. He's lost some big experienced players, and I think they bring something to the squad if they're on the first 11 or just around the place as well. and I think that's something that's probably been a little bit lacking. But I think these young players are good enough. You know, they're doing it at the club level, and at international level it's a completely different game, as we found out tonight. But they've not took the chance. Have they went out there and consistently performed at a level that we know that they can? No, they haven't.
Curious throw-in conceded by Nepohodov, the goalkeeper. It's just a long ball forward by Scotland, and he's kicked it straight out of play next to the corner flag. Scotland have taken the throw. A real lack of urgency, though.
There is a lack of urgency, John, and the passing, the labelled, it's slow. Like we're waiting for things to happen rather than just anticipate it.
And here comes Scotland again down that right side. Palmer can't get away. Swung by his challenge.
John, he's jumped the challenge. He knows that he can get there 50-50, and that's what I don't want to see. He challenges. They're sliding for it. Doesn't matter about the surface. You slide for it, and you win your country a throw-in.
And so Mbayev has done that. He hobbles a little bit as he gets back to his feet, but he's got the ball in his hand. Came off Palmer. He throws it back to Mali, the central defender, and it's gone straight out of play as he tries to return it to him. Little bonus there for Scotland, but any upsides for Scotland dwarfed by the negatives, I'm afraid to say. There's 13 minutes to play. They need 3 goals just to get a point. They've got possession again, and it's just it's difficult to know what to do, isn't it? Tried a little bit of skill on the edge of the penalty area, it doesn't come off, and so you tend to think play it safe, but unless they show a little bit of flair, they're not getting past this Kazakhstan side. They've been largely error-free from Kazakhstan and their defensive performance.
Yeah, they have. They've been comfortable. You know, even to the stage where direct balls come up, they're flickering it onto their own goalkeeper, taking it down the chest, playing it out. But when they don't take any chances, sometimes they just clear the danger area.
They've worked this nicely down the right side. Pertsuk's got possession. His cross comes back his way, and he volleys it into the penalty area. Stabbed away then by Bates. And a couple of players have gone to Kazakhstan players have actually collided with each other. Burke was there for Scotland. He just walks away, and both Kazakhstan players are down. This could take a couple of minutes to sort out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They both want it. They've wanted it more. And that's what I'll say. They've got players there that are challenging, both going up there to win a ball. A nothing ball in the middle of the park, but both two Kazakhstan players are going for it. Yeah, I'm disappointed. We've not kind of shown that desire, the passion that the boys usually go out there and show, even when it's a poor performance. You know, we're hurrying around, we're hurrying, we're trying to get on the ball, we're trying to make challenges. Too many times we've had 50-50 challenges tonight, we've not put our foot through the ball.
There's a bit of blood out there as well, so this is going to take some time.
Making a substitution as well there.
Yeah, Kuat. With blood on Kuat, I think it might be can't see who the other player is, but I think it might be the other player's blood that we can see on Kuat's head, because they are more concerned about the Kazakhstan player who is down. The referee is over there as well, a couple of teammates, and they are calling for the substitute to getting ready. Kuat's okay. It's just there is a downside to the surface. I know there was a clash of heads that has caused the blood injury, but he's also got a big graze down his arm, Kuat as well. When you see let's just have a look at it again on the replay. It's Mali, the central defender, and that's above and beyond, isn't it? Scotland are brave. It was Kazakhstan who were brave there, with it 2 players going in, steaming into a header that is it's in Scotland's half, isn't it? It's about 15 yards in Scotland's half.
Yeah, it's a nasty one though. I think their captain's he's come up and he's put the head through it as well, and yeah, this is he's really struggling here, this young lad, isn't he?
Yeah, so seeing a sub getting ready. Akhmetov, Yildiz Akhmetov, is another defender for Kairat, who one of the stronger teams there, and basically all 9 of the 11 of Kazakhstan based. So unless you know your Kazakhstan league, then telling you the clubs won't make much difference. Ouch! Just seeing a close-up now of Mali, who is down, and they're putting bandage round and round and round his head. He's okay. I mean, he's conscious and talking, but it's just a messy sight, isn't it?
Well, the head's cut there, and the cheekbones came right up as well. So that's he's took a nasty one there.
And both of the players are receiving treatment. So I think Kuat wants to continue, and Mali has gone off. He's now covered his face as he's going off. Oh, it's Yalanov who's gone off. There's Yalanov who's gone off injured, and Akhmetov is the defender coming on in his place. And change as well. Mark McNulty coming on for Scotland. He's been in the goals for Hibs recently. Forrest, the player, withdrawn, so certainly hasn't been able to continue his good form for Scotland from the autumn over. James Forrest and Mark McNulty. Yeah, good luck, mate. 3-0 down with 10 minutes to play.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think it's I'd have give him another 20 minutes on top of this, 30 minutes to go, and you know the form that he's on, he's got that little bit of quality that he can hit the back of the net on a regular, but yeah, we'll see if he can just kind of a little bit of luck, see if he can get something, open his tally.
He scored lots of goals for Coventry when they were promoted last season, went to Reading and hardly played, and then so he's been able to make a move to Hibs, and he has been playing, and he has recently been scoring goals, so it's a debut and an opportunity to try and bring that goal scoring form. I think anything now, you know, John asked you at half time whether you'd take a point, you said no. I think Scotland would just take a goal now.
I just want a goal, yeah, that's exactly what I want. You know, I think again we have created chances in the second half, not been clinical enough, but you were spot on, John, when you said we've not really shown an urgency, we've not really built on that, we've not really pushed Kazakhstan back, and it's been an onslaught of pressure, and they've been comfortable. They have genuinely been comfortable for the full 90. Well, 82 at the minute.
Scotland in possession then with Shinnie. I don't think anyone's had a good game for Scotland. It would be, I can't think of making a case for anyone to take anything away with them, other than you might learn sometimes in adversity, and this is certainly adversity. Been second best against Kazakhstan.
I've not seen Callum McGregor in the second half. I've not seen him at all. Get on the ball, make something happen.
Shinnie's going to get a yellow card here.
There's no need for it. He could have done it 45 minutes ago and get himself into it, but it's pointless now. 8 minutes to go.
Late challenge on Borogovsky, who's a decent player actually, doesn't he, the right wing back. And Burke it is who gets him up. Real sign of frustration. It's so late, isn't he? Got there when he can, I think you say.
So there's no need for it. As I say, it's laziness. You know what he says, he's playing in that position, and it's difficult as well. You know that Armstrong's had a few strong words as well through that second half, and it's frustration. 3-0 down. I'd be interested to see what we said at half time, because probably the second goal doesn't happen if he just kind of a little bit more defensively just sticks with McKenna, but yeah, it's been disappointing, John. You know, it's this is a blow. You know, I think the confidence is high after the Nations League, and it's not the. I said to you before the game, it's the best two games to start this group with, and look at, we'll find ourselves 3-0 down with 6 minutes to go in Kazakhstan.
Zayn Nutdinov has gone off, and I tell you what, Chris, I've been impressed with him. They've got a very promising young player there. They're attacking again, and it's a header lands towards Scott Bain's goal from Mutikov, who's just come on to replace Zayn Nutdinov, who's caused Scotland lots of problems on the break. Got the goal, played a part, the others as well, and played a part in getting Kazakhstan up the pitch, giving Scotland all sorts of problems. The 20-year-old who plays in Russia.
They're just bopping it around now. Very frustrating. We've got to chase it. We've got to get up the pitch. Comfortable technical players.
And they're just knocking it around in their own half. It's Oleg time for Kazakhstan with 6 minutes to play. Kazakhstan 3, Scotland 0. Akhmetov, the sub who came on after the clash of heads, puts it down on the ground. There's nothing in the laws of football that says you have to take a throw-in quickly, so they're entitled to take their time to an extent. You'd hope that the Serbian referee steps in, but it's 3-2. I think you'd be more exercised by this. It's 3-0. And Scotland win it back again. Burke hasn't had the impact in the second half that he carried some threat in the first half and just couldn't put the final ball in, but hasn't really been a threat in the second half. We haven't seen him running at his man and worrying Kazakhstan. In fact, very little has worried Kazakhstan. A couple of half chances, a good effort, a good save that Armstrong forced just after the third goal, and that's it. That's why Scotland are facing a pretty humbling result. They're knocking the ball around at the back, and then Shinnie takes his time. He's mugged by a couple of players and grateful probably to hear the whistle go.
Well, there's 5 minutes to go. I don't understand why we're playing it around at the back anyway. You know, you've got Burke up there. We've got a presence that we can hang up and get the players round about him and win the second ball. You know, McNulty, he's sharp. He's around it. Johnny Russell again. I've not seen a lot of him since he came on, but he did take that little knock.
Scotland are attacking. It goes forward, and the header from Russell just loops up in the air. Goalkeeper comes and claims it, and he just walked around. Ball held in his hand. Any notion of 6 seconds has disappeared from football long ago.
Yes,
He's still got it, and now he clears it. But again, who can blame it? It was the other way around. Scotland would be doing exactly the same, of course. So let's not moan too much. There's no skullduggery. There's nothing wrong with how Kazakhstan have played. They're perfectly entitled. They've had a game plan. They've executed their game plan. They're 3-0 up, and they're enjoying themselves. And if anything, Russia, Belgium, watching this ahead of their game tonight, it'll be Kazakhstan that they'll be thinking, actually, you know, you're going to be wary of them. Other teams won't fancy coming here. They've got a threat, they've got a game plan, and a couple of players up front, and little bits of quality in the midfield again. Scotland knocking the ball around in midfield. Now they work it to the right side, and a little link up. McTominay puts it back. The cross has gone into the penalty area, and Burke got something on it, but it dropped down. The defender hacked it away. McTominay, it is this time, turns and plays it back to the halfway line. It's better thought for the Scotland fans who've made the journey, 3,900-mile journey to see your side play, and at least for the journey you'd be expecting 3 points. That's what Scotland expected, of course. Instead, on the other end of a 3-goal hammering. Kazakhstan haven't been particularly dirty. 12 fouls I'm just seeing, but it hasn't been a dirty performance.
No, it hasn't at all. Not at all. You know, it's just part and parcel. You know, you're going to get a little bit of contact. I just don't feel that the quality in our passing's not been good enough. That's from back to front. Johnny Russell, 5 minutes ago, kept one alive. He's jumping higher than what he needs to. Oliver Buck there as well, the exact same. Into the body, make it stick. Runners going up and support him. There's just been no kind of game plan. We've just out there and tried to play football, getting some nice passes in, and they sucked us in and played counter-attack football very well. Got willing runners, making it stick, and keeping our back four very much entertained for the full match when they had to.
Kuat's done well, the man with the bandage around his head. Won the ball in the midfield, gave it to Merkel and then to Pertsuk. Borogovsky work it around a little triangle. It's won back by Scotland's captain Callum McGregor. He won't captain Scotland again in a hurry, you would imagine, because Robertson will come back into the team. I hope he does captain them again in the future. I hope this isn't it for his captaincy career. Long ball forward for McNulty to chase. Goalkeeper steps out of his area. McNulty willingly chases it, goes shoulder to shoulder. Goalkeeper makes a meal of it, and it's just a goal kick.
Yeah, to be fair, they've been feeding on scraps, in all honesty. You know, I think McNulty there, that's what they're going to do. They've executed the match perfectly, their game plan, seen it out, always going to roll it out there. But I've got to say, yeah, you're talking about Callum McGregor. He's captain. I can't even think of him getting on the ball in the second half and actually saying, right, you go breaking it down and getting on it, and a few challenges, even having a go at a few of the players, trying to get us up and at him. But it's just and that's that inexperience. He's a great lad, and if you're not having a great game yourself, how can you go and demand that from the rest of you? You know, he's been very, very quiet, which has been disappointing.
In the 90th minute, it's 3-0, and a long ball forward is being chased. Goalkeeper put it down. I don't know if he took a free kick or not. Scotland are on the ball anyway. The Serbian referee says play on. A few seconds from now we'll see the board go up. The fight has gone from Scotland. It's gone out of them a while, to be fair. If this was away in Belgium, if this was in 5 minutes added time, if this was away in Brussels, you'd be disappointed.
I've got to agree. I think I've got to agree. You know, I think Belgium, third in the world rankings, and the quality they've got. 3-0, you'll still be disappointed, thinking, you know, you've conceded, but the goals you've conceded tonight, errors. I think the third goal, probably there's no pressure on the ball coming in on the one who delivered, but it's a fantastic header. The other two, again, it's just individual errors, I would say. You know, not following your man, not being positioned right, just small basics.
McTominay is driving forward. He's just possessed easily. The simple tackle, and the ball is played again into the channels, and the yellow shirts rampage forward again. Scotland have to work back. Now it's gone into the corner just to waste a little bit of time.
And it's a free kick as well for me, John. It's a great little bit of skill, little nutmeg, and it's Callum McGregor again. He's just put him down. Lucky to get away with that one.
It was Merkel again. The Heracles players had a good game actually. That midfield player. It's this recall after a long time away from international football. And a long ball forward again, comfortably won at the back for Kazakhstan. It has been comfortable. Vorogovsky in possession. He's given it away. It's careless from here. Armstrong. Long journey for a man involved in a Premier League relegation battle, but proud to represent his country. His long ball into the penalty area. Russell's able to keep it in near the byline, and he checks back out again. Three was almost in the way there of Shinny. And Russell tries some skill to get to the byline. He turns and he gets his cross in, and it's an excellent header away. McTominay stretches out a long leg to win it back 25 yards. He was caught late, wasn't he?
Yeah, very sore one that. He has took a very sore one there, but he's getting up to feet. Having a little watch.
Yeah, the game's gone on. Well, anyway, it hasn't been a terrible referee performance. That was a mistake. Armstrong's got possession. He's trying to set up Burke. A shooting chance for Scotland. Dear me, that sums up, I'm afraid to say, what we've seen. He's sliced it. It's gone high and a mile wide.
Yeah, well, he's tried to just basically bend it round the defender coming in at him. Where I think you usually just go through legs. You hit it with power. You hit it towards the goal rather than trying to go for placement. And yeah, it's been disappointing all round. You can see by the reaction as well. You know, they've been given the chance and they've nowhere near got anywhere near the levels that's expected of them.
Just seen a close-up on the TV screen of Alex McLeish with a very grim face, glum expression. Long ball forward from McNulty to chase. Three defenders around him. One of them hooked it back and then smashed forward by Postnikov. Palmer with the throw. And McTominay tries to create something. He tumbles to the ground. The throw has gone the other way. The clackers are being waved stern-faced from the soldiers in the front row. Everyone behind them is enjoying themselves. Big smiles on the bench for Kazakhstan from Mikhail Bilek and his players. Kazakhstan closing in on a winning start, so they'll be top of the group, whatever. Well, actually, Cyprus might fancy putting more than three past San Marino later. It's not the worst draw for Scotland. You know, Russia, the team that they would be targeting to get past in this group. We've said already that they've got the fall back because they won their Nations League, because they were good in the autumn. Scotland finished that very strongly indeed, so they've got the chance to, if they don't turn this group situation around, and we're back past to Bain, got the home support excited, but it was always running through to the Scotland goalkeeper. So the other group, the League C winners, were Finland, Norway and Serbia. It's very complicated to go who you might play in the Nations League. McTominay tries to get on the ball and he goes over. He was clipped. He was a long way from the ball when he was clipped, but the referee has penalised Sulembayev. I wonder if he's booked him. A bit of card out. McTominay worked himself a free kick, I think it's fair to say there.
Yeah, he's been okay when he's come on. He's been direct. He's trying to make things happen, and he knew he was going to take a sole one there as well. A little bit of bravery, poor challenge, and I'm not sure was he cautioned or not.
So it's a free kick for Scotland with just seconds to go of the 95th minute of the game. The only thing that they get now would be just a consolation. Callum McGregor is over it. The referee draws his line on the AstroTurf. And Scotland are able to throw all of their outfield players, Bart, Shinny forward. And can the captain deliver something? Just a consolation, just anything to take away with them. Callum McGregor with the in-swinging free kick. The goalkeeper comes and punches. It falls down. It's the defender who's first to it. He clears it long. Shinny tries to get on the ball, and the referee blows his whistle. It is a fabulous and a famous win for Kazakhstan. It is humiliating for Scotland. It has finished 3-0, and it's 3-0 fair and square. Nothing lucky, nothing controversial. The best side has won this game. They scored twice early on. They added another early in the second half, and Scotland have not done enough to threaten the Kazakhstan goal. The best team has won at the Astana Arena. The full-time score: Kazakhstan 3, Scotland 0.